Get ready to see the shock of the lovely ladies at The View as Eric Adams defends Donald Trump. Guys, it's going to be a lot of fun. As we all know, the ladies of The View are just unhinged. There's no other way to put it, okay? They froth at the mouth every time they even think about Trump. Orange man bad. He lives in their head rent-free. But believe it or not, there are some Democrats who are a little more rational on the topic, including even the far-left Eric Adams. Who would have guessed? So we're going to get right into it, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. But first, everybody, do me a big favor here. Like our video and share it around. We really appreciate it. It helps us out so much. As always, everybody, I'm your host, Darian. Let's get into the show.
So you heard us talking about RFK Jr. being the head of HHS. What do you think about that appointment?
The executives will nominate and bring in those who they believe will move their vision forward. And everything from the fluoride issue, I believe we should have fluoride in the water based on what my experts are telling me. But let's be clear, we have a real problem with our food in our country. And we need to watch what we're feeding our children. And
what is the major problem, do you think?
Too much hormones. You know, many people know my, I almost lost my sight with diabetes. The doctor told me I would be blind in a year. I was going to lose my fingers and toes. And it was my food. It wasn't my DNA. It was my dinner.
But JFK Jr. RFK Jr. ate some pork and now he has a brain worm. Is he the person that should be in charge of that?
Yeah, well, let's
food?
Right, and let's understand this also. In all of these agencies, there are thousands of employees and experts that understand these topics, and there are rules, there are regulations.
Mayor, a lot of them want to resign. When they see some of the people that are going to be on top, I think there's going to be a mass exodus of people who have the institutional knowledge and the institutional memory and DOD at HHS. Who wants to work under our cook?
And let me respond to that.
Let me start off by saying that was a profoundly stupid comment by Sonny Hostin, and of course she arrogantly grins while she says it, thinking she's probably the most brilliant person since, I don't know, Albert Einstein or something. But what she doesn't realize is what she's saying actually goes against her own point. If RFK Jr. ate pork and then got a brain worm as a result of it through essentially bad poisoned food from the American supply chain, that doesn't exactly refute the argument he's making about the food being bad. In fact, it's the opposite. It gives him a mission that he can work on solving, especially as somebody who was personally victimized by this disgusting food we have in the United States. So you totally missed there, Sonny. Sorry about that. As for Anna Navarro's comments about, oh, well, the people in the institutions are going to leave. Yeah, and? Are we supposed to be upset that the people, the same people who did the response to the COVID-19 pandemic and our federal government, are we supposed to be sad that they're going? Is that some kind of giant loss for the American people? Need I even get into the response we had to the COVID-19 pandemic? A viral outbreak when gyms were shut down and we were told, don't go out and exercise. There's a virus going around. You can't do that, especially when it's a virus that kills fat people. Do not exercise and get healthy. No, don't do it. I think it's safe to say we'll be pretty happy if those people resign when RFK Jr. comes in. And let's not forget, Donald Trump's whole deal, at least part of it, was that he's going to clean up the deep state. Part of that involves firing a lot of people in our massive federal bureaucracy. If some are leaving on their own accord, great. I'm all for it. If you guys like this content, please be sure to subscribe. We really appreciate it. Right there, just click that button down below. Thank you so much.
Under our cook.
And let me respond to that. If we love our country, then no one individual should take us away from our mission.
Yes.
If you dedicated your life to a particular place, I dedicated my life to law enforcement. So if a new commissioner came in that I disagreed with, I was not going to say, I'm going to resign. Let's love the country. Let's love our cities. Let's get away from the rhetoric of the professionalism that we know. Those are experts in this. They're going to look at his proposal, do a real analysis, and make these decisions. It happens every day.
Shouldn't he have a background at least? He should have some kind of background in this type of thing.
Let me just...
He does.
Okay, so Mayor, when Trump returns to office, he will actually have a lot of power with the Republican-controlled Senate and House. He's suggested at times using the National Guard to target the enemy within, and key members of his last administration called him a fascist. But you've defended him. Can you explain?
No, I defended the rhetoric that we're using across our country and what our children are listening to and what we're doing. We've reached a point in this country where we no longer want to engage in conversation. They were even calling him Hitler. That's an insult.
That was only his vice president.
That was an insult. That was an insult to the millions of Jews and others who died. We know what Hitler did. And what I said to our country, when I'm on the streets talking to my young people who are protesting on college campuses, wearing Hamas signs and calling for the destructions of groups, I said, we have to bring down this rhetoric. We have to start engaging in conversation. You know, Obama said it right, and I agree. This is not the divided state. This is the United States. We're the greatest country on the globe. And people.
All right, guys, I think I need to get my head checked because I'm a little concerned. I am agreeing with Eric Adams. That is a statement I never thought I'd make in my life. Bar, you know, okay, obvious exception back when he was saying we need to bring down crime in New York City. Not that he actually did it, by the way. He was lying. But anyways, neither here nor there. The point is, he's talking sense. And you notice the left hates it when people on their own side talk sense. You see how the ladies of the View are just arrogantly giggling and stuff and sneering and making dumb little side remarks that aren't even as intelligent as they think they are, all while Eric Adams speaks absolute facts. Now, what I will say, there is one point he made that I don't actually agree with Obama. Sure, Obama has said nice things from time to time about, you know, not being divided and that kind of stuff, but he doesn't actually mean it, all right? Need I remind us of what Obama said about Midwesterners way back when, specifically about in the context of speaking about working class Pennsylvanians who were devastated by deindustrialization in their areas and losing jobs? Let me bring this quote up for a refresher. Check this out. This is from The Guardian back in, I believe, 2008? Yes, 2008. Obama was caught in an uncharacteristic moment of loose language, referring to working class voters in old industrial towns decimated by job losses. The presidential hopeful said, they get bitter. They cling to guns or religion or antipathy towards people who aren't like them, or anti-immigrant sentiment, or anti-trade sentiment as a way to explain their frustrations. Yeah. Real uniter there, isn't he? Yeah, we love Barry, we really do.
People are watching us and name calling.
But do you think Trump should have brought down the rhetoric? Because
everybody should.
Well, let's start at the top then, because maybe it trickles down.
Everybody should. Everybody should.
You gotta love that rich irony of Joy Behar saying, well, if we want to turn the temperature down, let's start at the top. Yeah, Behar, you arguably are a part of that top. That's not to say she's decent or good. She's not. Her show's terrible. But nonetheless, it belongs to one of the largest media outlets in the world, ABC News. Point being, you are one of the people who sets this ugly rhetoric and temperature in the United States. For you to sit there and say, well, it's somebody else's fault. What are you even talking about? Nobody's buying it anymore. You guys are just so fake. It's incredible. And going back to that kook, RFK Jr. that they were complaining about, I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually pretty excited to see him head the HHS. I think that assuming he does what he said he was going to do there, that could be revolutionary for the United States of America, and that's a great thing. But I'm not the only one who's excited about RFK Jr. joining the HHS. Joining me is the man himself. Check this out.
Since 2005, I spend 30 minutes praying every day when I get out of bed. And my prayer is this. I ask God for 19 years to put me in a position where I could end the chronic disease epidemic and bring health back to our children. And in August, God sent me Donald Trump.
What do you guys think? Personally, I found that to be pretty inspirational. I think it's no secret that chronic health issues are ever more common in American society than they ever used to be. And that is a really terrible thing. Sometimes you'll see people make little comments like, oh, well, that's just because we have more diagnoses now than before. We detect the health issues better. Sorry, bullshit. Don't buy that. I don't think anybody who says that actually buys it either. It's more of a coping mechanism as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, I could rant about that all day. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. As always, please be sure to comment below. Let us know what you think about the clip, what kind of stuff you want to see again in the future, and we'll see everybody again soon. God bless.